Welcome back to Mindful Leadership Beyond Borders. This is Betska the Guru Coach together with Raj Vashisht and our delightful guest today, Amanda Younts. And during the pause, Raj told us a few stories. He was saying that one of his good friends passed from alcoholism, passed away. He knew of another person who had gone into recovery. And 1 year later, he went back to drinking. So clearly there's something, a mind shift that needs to happen before someone will stop permanently. And I'm assuming that that's something that Amanda's coaching program will do for you or anyone that you know that is heavily addicted. And Raj was also saying that, you know, these people start to lie and cheat and maybe steal and because they need the fix. So actually that might be an important question to ask as well, Amanda. How similar, can we just start with this question because it's burning in my mind? What, you know, how is alcoholism similar to drug addictions, to marijuana and cocaine and so on? And I ask that because I go outside my door sometimes in the evenings and there are people smoking marijuana around me in their yards, but still it's coming into mine. It drives me crazy. I don't want that secondhand smoke. Thank you very much. So anyway, yeah, how similar? Yeah, go ahead.
It's extremely physically addicting, but then you also have, you know, marijuana has become legal and is more socially acceptable, but it's still not as accepted as alcohol and available on flights and all of the places that you're like, oh, wow. But what you see clinically is the transference of the addiction. If you don't truly do the healing after the initial detox and where you literally are just trying to get through a moment, if there is not the emotional, the spiritual sobriety side of things, not just the physical addiction, the behavior is going to transfer to, and a lot of times, unfortunately, you see to a heavier drug that may lead to a sudden death quicker than the alcohol. But it's going to transfer if you don't actually get to the root of the reason for the addiction. Once the physical side, when it's all consuming, you know, and that's all you can think about mentally, once you move past that, you've got to start working on what is the core of why you crave this, whatever it is, to fill the need.
Yeah. And I'm going to guess that people stay addicted because they might be afraid to even address that.
Oh, absolutely. And that's why people go back is, you know, your life doesn't stop. Job challenges, family relationships, those things are still there. So if you're not learning how to actually interact and relate to people and you yourself handle stress and disappointment, because I mean, life is still hard, then you are going to go back and you're going to go back harder.
Yeah.
Ego, some people have very strong ego also.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. And the ego might be saying, oh, I don't have a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Oh, I don't have a problem.
And they
look at everyone else. Everyone else is doing it. Yeah.
And from inside, they feel very inferior also, but they don't want to show.
That's right.
They don't want to show because
I agree.
they lost their physical health, mental health, good personality, each and everything. So they feel very inferior from inside, but they don't want to show. So that's why they show their false ego.
Yes. It's a whole other persona.
Yes.
You know, I would say I had a drinking persona that was not anything like what I am now or what I was like sober. And that becomes very hard for your family, to be like, I don't even know who you are anymore. Your friends, if you're married in a relationship, that relearning for other people of, I don't, I've had people that say they don't like this sober version of me. And my ego had to get in check of to be stronger to say, well, I don't think you're a person I need in my life, right?
Bye-bye. Oh, it's too funny. Wow. So I want to know, clearly you've developed this Empowered Sobriety Coaching Program for a reason. And so why is it different? Or how is it different from other sobriety programs? What do you do differently? Tell us some key points here that would encourage people to come.
We move at this stage deep into, like Raj was saying, the other side of life in your spiritual wellness. We start to move into your mindset, spiritual health, nutrition, because most people, your nutrition is lacking. And so once you get through that addictive side and that early where you truly are just trying to survive, okay, how do I now replace the nutrients I've lost? Health, physical, but also the case, like I role play. That's the educator counselor back story for me of, we role play scenarios of, okay, what is it going to look like when you do go to dinner with someone? What is it going to look like when you go to this birthday party, this holiday event with your family? And truly practice these scenarios and situations, come up with exit strategies, coping strategies, replacement behaviors. Okay, what do you need to take instead to be able to just not just survive in this situation, but where you're not miserable at a holiday event with your family? So we go through those scenarios, and it is truly a community where we have a, WhatsApp, a Discord, so that the group is constantly able to have other people in the same situation to be able to bounce ideas and get input from.
Right on. So the spiritual aspect, is that about loving God or loving self, or what is that spiritual aspect about?
It's a huge piece of loving self, but then showing up in the world, whatever it is that you believe in.
Okay, yeah.
Having faith and trust in that. A huge piece of mindfulness, practice the pause to be able to respond, not react. Again, when you're showing up in a world when other people are not, they're responding, I would say, unsober, even though they're not addicted or they don't have an alcohol or substance problem, they're still not emotionally regulated. So how do you navigate a world that, quite frankly, isn't? And we see it on the news, on social media all the time, and cutting out those distractions, because you have control of that, and you have control of that through practicing meditation, practicing connecting with something bigger than all of this.
Ah, yes, very good. And what caught my attention here was that some programs out there are Christian-based, which is great. But then what you're talking about here is it doesn't matter if you're a Muslim or Hindu or Christian, Buddhist, doesn't matter. Anybody can come. So you are helping them to connect with that spirit inside of them. Oh, wow. That's really great, Amanda. That's really important. Yes. Okay. And then what do you find are some of the negative beliefs that these people have that they need to overcome?
A huge piece is self-worth and
Okay.
that worthiness, confidence, self-esteem, just ability to be loved. And again, that's where that connecting to something that's bigger than you, that's going to love you regardless of how you look, what job you have. We really do a lot of breaking down and deconstructing of identity, and that you're worthy regardless of the role you have.
Are many of the people who come to you, were they abused as children? I'm just curious. Do you know, or do you get into that? No.
Honestly, we don't.
Okay.
Because that's not my area of expertise, and that is not my specialty. And if someone does come with trauma or abuse, I tend to refer them out. Now, it's not that we can't interact and they can't benefit from the program, but if there's a level of need beyond coaching, being very clear on coaching and therapy, that I'm coaching, and if there's unaddressed areas there that might need a deeper professional level to heal.
Okay. Awesome. That's great. Okay, folks, we're going to take another pause. We're going to come back for part 3 to conclude this amazing story that Amanda's telling us about. Talk to you soon.